Greetings, Poké fans! Michael here. Quick bit of self-promo. Well, it's not really self-promo, but a quick bit of promo before the video gets started. My wonderful girlfriend Jubilee has just started streaming on her own on Twitch. I know a lot of you guys love her, think she's super entertaining. She's been in several videos of mine and has been on most of my Twitch streams, but she now has her own Twitch, which you should definitely check out. Give her a follow. She wants to be a content creator too, and she's already fantastic at it, so it'd be awesome if you could go give her some love. Links to her Twitch are going to be down in the description below, and I'll pin a comment to this video linking to her. Shiny Pokemon, or special rare Pokemon that are colored differently from all the other Pokemon of that species, are very elusive, highly sought after Pokemon, and especially in recent years, shiny hunting has become a very popular, very mainstream thing. And because of how mainstream shiny hunting has become, most of you probably know what a solid chunk of the shiny Pokemon of a certain species look like. For example, you probably all know that shiny Gyarados is red. However, over the years throughout the Pokemon universe, several shiny Pokemon have showed up that don't look like the shiny Pokemon do in the games. So I decided to count down the top 10 wrong shiny Pokemon that you've probably never seen. These Pokemon will be Pokemon that are colored differently than a regular example of a certain Pokemon species, but they don't look the same as the official shiny coloring that are found in the main series games. Now, some of you say that some of these Pokemon are just slight differences, or they're clearly intentional modifications so you can tell the difference between this one. However, the definition of a shiny Pokemon according to Bulbapedia is a Pokemon that is an alternate color from what is typical for its species. So whatever the reason that these Pokemon look different, even if that difference is slight or it was clearly intentional, if they are colored differently, they are considered shiny Pokemon, and if that shiny coloring is not the same as what's in the games, it's technically wrong. So be sure to show some love on the video and leave a like and comment down below some Pokemon you think might be on the list, and subscribe if you haven't already. And without further ado, here are the top 10 wrong shiny Pokemon you've probably never seen. Number 10. Duplicate models in Pokkén Tournament. In the recent Pokemon fighting game, Pokkén Tournament, both regular Pokkén Tournament and DX, if two Pokemon of the same species are battling each other, one of them changes color so you can more easily tell the difference between whose Pokemon is who. You probably expect the Pokemon that changes color to change into its shiny coloring, but that isn't the case at all. Most of the different colorings are completely different from their official shiny coloring. For example, instead of turning pink and yellow, Weavile turns green. Instead of turning black, Charizard turns gray. And instead of turning beautiful Christmas colors, Decidueye's hood just changes to a blue color. Of all these alternate colorings, the only ones that are remotely close to the official shiny coloring are Darkrai and Mega Charizard X. Now, I did make this entry lower on this list since some could say they're not technically shiny Pokemon since you see them transform right in front of you, but like I said, they're still alternate colorings that are wrong, so that's why I included it. I am kind of disappointed they didn't show the actual shiny coloring, but for some of the Pokemon, I definitely understand it. Like Garchomp. Regular, shiny. You can barely tell the difference. Number 9. Ash's Lapras's mother. The mother of the Lapras that Ash had during the Orange Island saga appears in 2 episodes, Viva Las Lapras and Lapras of Luxury, and it looks noticeably different than all of the other Lapras. It's substantially lighter blue, and its back shell is much darker. A normal shiny Lapras is purple, so clearly this is a wrong shiny here. Now some of you may say, that's not a shiny Pokemon, it's slightly lighter in color. That's not shiny. Well, remember Garchomp here? Regular? Shiny? Yeah, there's less of a difference between these two than there is between this Lapras and a regular Lapras. So, it's shiny. And wrong. Number 8. Pokemon in Pokemon Stadium with a nickname. So this is a pretty interesting one that I learned about very recently. Apparently in Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2, depending on whether a Pokemon has a nickname and what its original trainer's ID number is, it will have slightly different coloring. Now, the changes to the coloring usually aren't very drastic. As you can see here with these Pikachus, it's just a different bit of shading for each one. However, it's definitely noticeable, and there are shiny models that are less different than this, so clearly they are wrong shiny coloring. Number 7, the Snowman Snorlax. In the special episode Snowman Snorlax, Pikachu and several other Pokemon belonging to the main cast encounter a Snorlax and then several others that are mostly white in coloring since they live in a snowy environment. Now, regular shiny Snorlax is obviously not white, so these are examples of wrong shinies. Now, this is an interesting entry since some could say that these Snorlax are more like regional variants, like Alola forms. You know, these Snorlax live in a colder environment and therefore their bodies and probably typing have changed. However, since we have no confirmation that their types have changed to be ice type, and since regional variants weren't official in the games at the time of this special airing, I tend to believe that they're still just wrong shiny Pokemon. Number 6, the Green Crystal Deoxys. In the 7th Pokemon movie, known in the USA as Destiny Deoxys, 2 different Deoxyses, Deoxy? There's 2 of them, okay? And they both appear in the movie. One of them is a regular Deoxys. It has a purple crystal on its chest and a purple stripe on its face. However, the second Deoxys that appears, the friend of the first one that the first one was searching for, has a green crystal on its chest and a green stripe on its face. Shiny Deoxys is bright yellow, but still has the purple chest crystal and the purple stripe on its face, so clearly this alternately colored Deoxys is a wrong shiny. Number 5, the Valencia Island Pokemon. This is actually several different Pokemon, but it made sense to lump them all in here. But anyways, when Ash, Misty, and Brock first arrive at Professor Ivy's lab on Valencia Island in the Orange League plot, they encounter several Pokemon living at the lab that are colored differently than normal. Some of these differences are more subtle, such as the Nidorans having more saturated versions of their normal colors, but some of them are far more drastic, such as Vileplume and Butterfree having very different leaf and wing patterns. Now, since none of these align with the regular in-game shinies, these are all wrong shiny Pokemon. But interestingly, later in the Power of One Pokemon the Movie 2000 movie, you see Professor Ivy with a regular Paris instead of the special ones you saw at the lab, so I guess they just kind of forgot that they made them different. Number 4, the Magikarp in Magikarp Jump. Full disclosure, I'm not a huge fan of the Pokemon mobile games. I don't play Pokemon Go anymore, and I've never played Pokemon Duel or Magikarp Jump, so I apologize in advance if I happen to have any errors in this section. Magikarp Jump is a mobile game that focuses on fishing up Magikarp and then using them in the Magikarp Jump contest to see whose Magikarp can flop out of a puddle and go the highest. Now, you can of course catch regular, typical red Magikarp, and you can even find rare, shiny, golden Magikarp. However, in addition to those 2 Magikarp forms, there are 31 different colorings of Magikarp that you can catch in this game that are not the same as either of those 2. These different patterns vary from slight alterations, such as adding a couple of spots, to completely changing the color scheme. You can find gray ones, brown ones, blue ones, and even saucy violet ones. Yes, that saucy violet is literally the name of this Magikarp's color scheme. Although one interesting tidbit is that all of these Magikarp patterns, except for the correct shiny golden one, will still evolve into a blue Gyarados and not a red Gyarados. So, if they evolve into a not shiny, does that mean they're not shiny? Well, no. They're still different colored, and therefore they're shinies. But they're definitely wrong shinies. Number 3, shiny Pokemon in Colosseum and XD. An interesting fact about shiny coloring that I learned recently is that up until Generation 6, shiny colorings were determined by an algorithm that swapped palette colors around to make sure it worked well with the game's backgrounds. That's why you see so many blue Pokemon whose shinies are pink, or several Pokemon whose shinies are not very different at all. However, things got a little bit crazy in the spin-off games Colosseum and XD. since while the palette algorithm remained the same or similar, the palettes were different because they were 3D models, and that resulted in several Pokemon having drastically different shiny models than what they are supposed to. Some examples are Voltorb just being saturated blue instead of having a blue top, Scizor being gold instead of being green, and Lombre just being completely different. But as we discussed in my last top 10 Pokemon you've probably never caught, it is stupidly difficult to get a shiny Pokemon in Colosseum and impossible in XD, so chances are you probably won't even encounter any of these shiny models. Number 2, the Pink Butterfree. If Pokemon has ever made you cry, the episode where Ash says goodbye to Butterfree is probably the episode that did it. Or the one that he said goodbye to Charizard in, but Charizard came back later, so that one's a lot less sad. In case you don't remember the episode, Ash's Butterfree falls in love with a special, pretty pink Butterfree, and then subsequently leaves to go mate with it. Oh my. This Butterfree is clearly colored differently than all of the other Butterfree, and therefore is a shiny Butterfree. However, this episode first aired over 2 years before Gold and Silver were first released, the first Pokemon games that introduced shiny Pokemon. But if you find a shiny Butterfree in Gold and Silver or any of the later main series games, it's not pink. It's purple with green eyes and has pink feet. So the Pink Butterfree is a wrong shiny. Honestly, I'm disappointed that they didn't make shiny Butterfree pink like it appeared in the anime, but like I said, shinies before Gen 6 were determined by an algorithm, so guess the algorithm didn't pick pink. Number 1, the Purple Kecleon. This entry is number 1 because of how much I have personally been affected by it. Kecleon's debut in the anime, which was also the debut of any Generation 3 Pokemon, was in the episode The Kecleon Caper, originally premiering in Japan on July 5th, 2001. The episode features a pair of Kecleon, one that is colored normally and one that is purple. Now, shiny Pokemon were definitely mainstream at this point. Ash already had a shiny Noctowl and we'd seen others in the series. However, when Ruby and Sapphire came out around a year later, shiny Kecleon wasn't purple. This affected me personally since many years later while playing Omega Ruby, I found a shiny Kecleon. However, I was taken aback at the fact that instead of this Kecleon being purple, it just had a blue belly stripe instead of a red one. All those years, I had thought shiny Kecleon was purple because of the one I had seen in the anime, but in the games, it's not. In addition to that Purple Kecleon, there's another one that shows up in the Mystery Dungeons series, both in the games and in the little one-off specials they made. So, why were these special shiny Kecleons purple, but the ones in the game are not? I don't understand. I mean, yes, the algorithm probably determined that other shiny model, but then if that's the case, why did they make these other ones purple? It doesn't make sense to me. I'm very confused as to why they're different when they were actually around at the same time, but I guess that's a mystery we'll probably never solve. So there we have it. Those are the top 10 wrong shiny Pokemon that you've probably never seen. Honestly, several of these I'm disappointed are not the real shinies, because a lot of them look better than the actual ones. What did you think of this video? Do you agree with my list? Which one of these wrong shiny Pokemon is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below! And if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, it helps me out a lot. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, you should definitely do so. I do a bunch of fun Pokemon content that I am sure you will enjoy. And if you're a fan of my content here on this channel, you should check out my content in other places. I have a live streaming Twitch channel, I have my second channel, Michael Groth, where I do non-Pokemon content, and I have a Patreon, where if you choose to support me, you can earn some cool exclusive behind-the-scene perks. Alright, that's all I have for now, so till next time, big fans, gotta catch them all!